Think about the last time you had an important idea that you wanted someone to consider. How'd you make sure that that person understood all the essential details? When speaking, people use voice inflections and hand gestures to emphasize certain details. This helps others know what information is the most important. In a similar way, advertisers use bright colors and flyers to emphasize events or low sale prices. If all the information looks identical, the audience won't notice the special sale. Well, in your writing, it's equally crucial to draw your audience's attention to important information. However, you can't use hand gestures or inflections in a text. You have to rely on words and sentence structures to emphasize certain ideas. Read the following examples. What are the most important details? The ballerina twirled across the stage and captivated the audience. Though I think you would have appreciated the performance, I enjoyed it. Twirling gracefully across the stage, the ballerina captivated the entire audience. Though I enjoyed the performance, I think you would have appreciated it more than anyone. Now, the first sentence is difficult to understand because it buries the most important information in the middle. As you can see, moving these details around makes the second sentence much clearer. In this lesson, you'll learn 3 ways to emphasize important words or phrases. Through subordination, word order, and sentence structure. Usually, the main subject and verb are the most noticeable words in a sentence. They express the most important ideas, and less important ideas should be subordinated or de emphasized in dependent clauses. Though it lasted only minutes, the conversation made a lifelong impact on the young boy. In this example, the writer uses the subordinating conjunction though to de emphasize the phrase, it lasted only minutes. The more significant idea is emphasized in the independent clause. The conversation made a lifelong impact. Here's another example. After she visited friends in Australia, Amber decided to take a job in Sydney. The most important clause in this sentence is Amber decided to take a job in Sydney. So, she visited friends in Australia is subordinated by the word after. Be careful not to subordinate the wrong ideas. Consider how the meaning changes in this example. Though it made a lifelong impact on the young boy, the conversation lasted only minutes. Although this sentence is grammatically correct, the more important idea is de emphasized by the word though. For practice, let's read the following passage. See if you can identify the sentence that uses subordination. The famous pirate Blackbeard blockaded the port of Charleston, South Carolina in 1718. He demanded medical supplies in exchange for the safe return of a group of prisoners. After the exchange was delayed, the pirates moved several ships into the harbor. The city was alarmed by this. Blackbeard's reputation made every coastal city fear him. I'll give you a moment to identify the sentence with subordination here. There it is. After the exchange was delayed, the pirates moved several ships into the harbor. Another way to emphasize ideas is through word order. Important information shouldn't be buried in the middle of a sentence. You can make this information more prominent by placing it at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. Consider the following examples. The actor who demonstrates the most passion and skill in today's auditions will win the lead role. The lead role will be won by the actor who demonstrates the most passion and skill in today's auditions. In these sentences, who demonstrates the most passion and skill is the most important information. And placing this detail at the end of the sentence makes it stand out to the reader. Similarly, you can emphasize phrases by moving them to the beginning of a sentence as well. By delaying the subject and verb of the sentence, you can build a sort of feeling of suspense. Hoping for a miracle, the boys launched their homemade rocket. In this example, emphasizing the phrase hoping for a miracle makes the readers curious about what happens next. This technique is often used in fictional narratives or personal reflections, much like we see here. 30 years ago today, in a tiny high school in a tiny New Jersey town, while making his way through a hallway of teenagers and the smell of sloppy Joe Wednesdays, your grandfather spotted your grandmother for the first time. The third way to emphasize ideas is by using a different or unexpected sentence structure. These sentences stand out to the audience because they're different from the rest of the text. For example, read the following paragraph. People change. The characters in As You Like It are no exception, for they each experience numerous transformations. Orlando, the eager youth, becomes honest and mature. Oliver, the murderous and envious brother, becomes a gentle shepherd. And Duke Frederick, the overly ambitious usurper, becomes a devout man of faith. In this sentence or this example, the author uses a short sentence to to actually emphasize the most important idea, and that is that people change. Another way to emphasize an important idea is by posing a question to your audience. Would you ever put your child in harm's way? Keep in mind that using an entire paragraph of short sentences would actually de emphasize the information. When all the sentences in a paragraph look and sound alike, none of the important ideas are properly emphasized. For example, let's read the following paragraph. I've tried everything. I've run to the neighbors. They couldn't help. My sister was of no help. It's frustrating. I'm scared. I even called my brother. He couldn't help me. I don't know why. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything I can think of. Every sentence here is short and choppy. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Exceptional writers can get away with this. But for the rest of us, it's important to avoid too many short, choppy sentences. Let's read the paragraph reorganized. I've tried everything I can think of, including running to the neighbors, calling my brother, and contacting my sister. It's frustrating that nobody seems to want to help. I'm scared. That's much better. In this lesson, you learned about 3 ways to emphasize important words or phrases using subordination, word order, and or sentence structure. And thanks for listening.